July 15th, a single government announcement will determine whether millions of Americans get bigger Social Security checks next year, and most people have no idea it's coming. In this video, I'll reveal exactly what this announcement means for your benefits, why inflation data released in summer determines your 2025 payments, and the surprising trade-off that could leave you with more money but higher expenses. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down complex financial news into actionable insights you can use. If this information helps you understand your benefits better, hit that like button and subscribe for more money-saving content. Let's start with the date that could change your financial future. July 15th isn't just another day on the calendar. It's when the government releases the Consumer Price Index data, commonly known as the inflation report. Now, here's what most people don't understand. This particular report covers June's inflation numbers, and while it's not directly used in calculating your Social Security increase, it serves as a critical indicator of where things are heading. Think of it like a weather forecast. The June data doesn't determine your benefits, but it shows you which way the economic wind is blowing. And right now, that wind is picking up speed in ways that could dramatically impact your monthly payments. The real magic happens during what's called the third quarter: July, August, and September. These 3 months are absolutely crucial, because the Social Security Administration uses the average inflation data from these months to determine your cost of living adjustment, or COLA, for the following year. So while June's numbers won't directly affect your 2025 benefits, they're setting the stage for what's coming in the months that actually matter. This timing affects far more people than you might think. We're talking about Social Security retirement benefits, of course, but also disability payments through SSDI, survivors' benefits, spousal benefits, supplemental security income, Veterans Affairs benefits, and Railroad Retirement Board payments. Millions of Americans across multiple programs are all waiting to see how this plays out. Now, let's talk about how your benefits are actually calculated, because understanding this process is key to knowing what to expect. The government uses something called the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. That's a mouthful, so let's just call it CPIW. This index tracks how much it costs to buy a basket of goods and services that typical working people purchase. The COLA exists for one simple reason: to protect your purchasing power. Without it, your fixed Social Security payment would buy less and less each year as prices rise. Imagine getting the same dollar amount in 2025 that you got in 2020. You'd be able to afford significantly less with that money. The COLA is designed to prevent that erosion of your benefits. Here's how it works. The Social Security Administration takes the average CPIW for July, August, and September of the current year and compares it to the same 3 months from the previous year. If there's an increase, that percentage becomes your COLA. If prices have stayed the same or gone down, there's no COLA for that year. But here's where things get interesting, and why this July 15th announcement matters so much. There's a factor that's been quietly building in the background, and it's starting to have a real impact on the prices you pay every day. New tariffs that were implemented in recent months are now starting to bite, as economists put it. Initially, these tariffs had a delayed effect on consumer prices. Businesses absorbed some of the costs, used up existing inventory, and found ways to minimize the impact. But now, several months later, those higher costs are being passed on to consumers. This means the prices for goods and services are rising, and this increase is showing up in the inflation data that determines your COLA. Think about it this way. If you're paying more for groceries, utilities, clothing, and other essentials because of these tariffs, that higher cost of living gets reflected in the inflation numbers. And HIG, her inflation numbers mean a higher COLA adjustment to your benefits. Earlier this year, projections for the 2025 COLA were pretty modest. Most experts were estimating around 2%, which would have meant a relatively small increase in your monthly payments. But as inflation has ticked higher in recent months, driven partly by these tariffs and other economic factors, there's growing speculation that the actual COLA could be significantly more substantial. Some economists are describing inflation as a dormant sleeping giant that was quiet for much of the year but is now showing signs of waking up. There's a real possibility that inflation could ignite very quickly, leading to rapid price increases across the board. If this happens during the critical third quarter months, it could result in a much larger COLA than anyone initially expected. But here's the thing you need to understand about this situation, and it's crucial. There's a significant trade-off at play here. While a higher COLA would mean larger monthly checks, it would also reflect a period of higher inflation. This means that the increased benefits you receive might be offset by the rising costs of the things you need to buy. It's like getting a raise at work, but everything in the store costs more. You have more money in your pocket, but your purchasing power might not actually improve. This has been a long-standing challenge for Social Security recipients, who often find that COLA increases don't quite keep pace with the true cost of living they experience. Let's talk about the specific dates you need to mark on your calendar, because staying informed about these releases can help you plan your finances better. We already covered July 15th, when June's inflation data comes out. Then, in mid-August, we'll get July's inflation data, and this is the first of the 3 data points that will actually be used in your COLA calculation. Mid-September brings us August's inflation data, which is the second piece of the puzzle. Finally, in mid-October, we'll get September's data along with the official COLA announcement. This October announcement will tell you exactly how much your benefits will increase starting in January 2025. Each of these data releases provides more clarity about the direction of inflation and the likely size of your COLA adjustment. If you're depending on Social Security or related benefits, it's worth paying attention to these updates because they'll directly impact your monthly budget for the coming year. Now, while you're waiting for these announcements and planning for potential changes in your benefits, there's something else you should know about that could put significant money back in your pocket right now. Many people don't realize that a simple phone call about their Medicare coverage could result in average savings of over $1,100 per year. Here's why this matters. Medicare advisors can review over 20,000 plans nationwide to find the best fit for your specific needs. They take into account your preferred doctors, providers, clinics, and prescription requirements. This service is typically free, and it can be a game changer for people on fixed incomes. The key is asking questions and seeking out information. Whether it's about Social Security, Medicare, or other benefits, taking the initiative to explore your options can lead to unexpected savings and improved coverage. Don't hesitate to reach out to advisors or share helpful resources with friends, family, and neighbors. Speaking of sharing information, one of the most valuable things you can do is help others in your network stay informed. By sharing information about benefit updates, Medicare options, and other resources, you can help people in your community make better financial decisions. Whether it's a neighbor, family member, or acquaintance, passing along useful contacts or advice can have a meaningful impact on their financial well-being. So, as we move through the second half of 2024, all eyes will be on these inflation data releases. The period from July to September is especially critical because these months will set the baseline for next year's benefit increases. Here's what you should do to prepare. First, monitor those inflation reports we talked about. Stay up to date with each monthly release, as these will shape the final COLA calculation. You don't need to become an economics expert, but understanding the general trend can help you plan better. Second, review your budget and anticipate potential changes in your monthly income and expenses. If inflation is rising and a higher COLA is likely, think about how you might use that extra money, but also consider that your expenses might be rising too. Third, take advantage of free Medicare plan reviews to ensure you're getting the best coverage at the lowest cost. This is money you can save right now, regardless of what happens with your COLA. And finally, share resources with others in your community. Help people understand these changes and encourage them to seek out assistance when they need it. The upcoming release of June's inflation data on July 15th marks a turning point in the annual cycle of Social Security benefit adjustment. While this particular data point isn't used in the official COLA calculation, it provides a crucial indicator of the economic trends that will shape your future monthly benefits. As inflation continues to evolve, driven by factors like tariffs, economic policy, and global events, staying informed and proactive is more important than ever. By understanding these processes, reviewing your Medicare options, and sharing resources within your community, you can maximize your benefits and navigate the challenges of a changing economic landscape. The months ahead will be pivotal, but with the right information and support, you can approach them with confidence. Remember, asking questions and seeking out assistance is the key to making the most of your benefits. Whether it's a higher COLA, better Medicare coverage, or simply staying connected with others in your situation, every step you take brings you closer to financial security and peace of mind. If this video helped you understand what's coming with Social Security benefits, please hit that like button and subscribe to Financial Area for more money-saving content. And don't forget to share this information with anyone who might benefit from knowing about these important dates and changes ahead.